Hello, welcome back. Today's video is here in southern Thailand, and I have two interesting elements to the video today. The first is exploration of this island that I've always dreamt of coming to, but never made it in my 15 years of traveling to Thailand. This is KOH YAO NOI, and there are two KOH YAOs. This is the small one, and there's a big one just over there, and it is beautiful. It's right in the middle between Phuket, Krabi, and Koh Phi Phi. And yet, even though those three places are very popular, this place remains quite quiet, and long may that continue. So not only are we going to explore this island, but we're also going to be doing it on a budget. I'm going to be giving myself $100 for the 2 days that I'm going to be here, so $50 a day, and that's going to include everything: accommodation, travel, food, drink, activities. Is that a realistic budget if you're coming backpacking to southern Thailand? I'm not quite sure. I haven't done a budget travel trip for a long time, and I think it's about time we go and take your average backpacker's daily budget, come to southern Thailand, and see if that's realistic or not. So enjoy the video. So here it is, the budget. This is 3,600 Thai baht, which is roughly, basically, $100. I'm here for 2 days, so that's $50 per day. So I've already spent quite a bit. I've spent 400 baht on a speedboat this morning from the pier across the bay to the island itself. Half an hour, very comfortable. But yes, that's 400 baht gone. Immediately after getting off the boat, I rented a motorcycle from the pier, from a bloke, and he's given me a banged up old Honda Click. He charged me 250 baht per day, so I gave him 500 baht for the 2 days that I'm exploring this island. He didn't give me a helmet. I just filled her up as well because she had no fuel, so I put 100 baht of fuel in her, so that should last me the 2 days exploring this island. I need to find accommodation. I need to find things to do. I need food and drink. And as you can hear, some of it's on the way right now. Oh, thank you. Looks great. Not bad for 70 baht. Look. Pad Thai gung. So pad Thai with shrimp. I love the smell of MSG in the mornings. And I've got a nice ice cold watermelon shake. So all of this is 140 baht. Not bad. This is the first meal of the day. So this is my breakfast / lunch, I suppose. I'm just here in the middle of downtown. This is, believe it or not, just the middle of the island. This is the little village, and they have lots of street food for sale. My biggest expense is obviously going to be accommodation. Now, I just had a quick look on Booking, and I could stay in a hostel. I could stay in a dorm room for 250 baht a night. So that wouldn't be very much, but I'm gonna be realistic. And those days are over for me. I don't do dorm rooms anymore. I'm too old. There's too much noise. The last time I stayed in a dorm room was in the Philippines, and I just vowed never to do it again. I just value my sleep more than I value anything else. And when people are snoring, shagging, and chatting away, coming in and out of the room all night, it's not for me. It used to be when I was a broke backpacker in my early 20s. So what I'm going to do instead is head to the other side of the island, away from the town, away from the pier, try to find a quiet beach, and then have a little explore, see if we can negotiate a little deal. Try and get a private room or a private cabin on the beach, and hopefully it won't cost too much. I've made it to the southern tip of the island. I had a little look on Google Maps, and it looks quite quiet, so I thought there might be something cheap. But all I found is a little pier and some dude blasting out Radiohead. That's KOH YAO.
Oh, yeah. Now no boat.
No boat.
Yeah, around 4 p.m. have boat.
Okay, because of the tide?
Yeah.
How much is it to go?
500 baht. How many up to you? How long up to you?
Okay. So this pier is where you catch a long tail to go to the other island, KOH YAO. So they're really close to each other, and I'm gonna fly my drone because that looks gorgeous. Okay, I bloody love having a drone sometimes. because that was really, really amazing. Obviously at this high tide, we can't get there, but the drone can. And I just flew it. It's 1,000 meters away, that beach. It's only 1 kilometer, and I think this thing has about a 1 kilometer range. So I'm actually just looking down now, and I can see there's about a handful of people enjoying the sandbank. There's about 3, maybe 4 people enjoying the beach, and it is on this gorgeous arrowhead beach. There's a beach to the left, a beach to the right. As you can see, palm trees. There seems to be a little resort down there. So I'll leave the link of this pier so you can come down here and negotiate a good deal. He's telling me 500 baht return to go over there, hang out by the beach, enjoy the beach, relax, and then spend 2 to 3 to 4 hours and then come back here. But I can't commit to this because I need to figure out where I'm staying. This area here, as you can see, it's beautiful, and there's some floating fishing platforms, but not really that many accommodations to find. So we're going to keep looking. You see, this is where traveling solo comes into the equation, because 500 baht to go over there, spend 4 hours, and to come back, that's a deal. That's an absolute bargain, especially if there's 2 of you, 3 of you, 4 of you. So that activity is not off the cards as long as I can meet someone or some people and tell them about it, show them the drone footage, and convince them to share the price. Well, 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 what do we have here? Little bit of a beach bar vibe, reggae music. Those limestone cliff formations in the distance, that's the province of Phang Na and the bay, and absolutely beautiful part of Thailand. I'm so glad to finally come to the KOH YAO Islands. Now, there's a little restaurant along here. There are beach bungalows. They're not actually on the beach, but they're just on the other side of the road. This is cool. This is the local bus that goes around the island. I've seen it just doing loops. I've seen it like 3 or 4 times already. Yeah, these are the little bungalows. They've got aircon, but they're, yeah, 1,700 baht. So that's a little bit out of our budget, but that would have been great because beautiful beach bar, restaurant on the beach, hotel over there, gorgeous. Now, I'm not going to motorcycle around the island for the whole day searching for a deal, but I will keep looking. I don't want to give up just yet. What an absolute sleeper of an island this is. Look at this. I'm just driving along and I just was like, holy shit. Have a look at this. There's another sandbar, and this time it's right here. We don't need to get a long tail boat. We don't need to spend 500 baht. We can just do the budget Primani version. And that looks just as beautiful. Obviously it's high tide right now, so it's probably the best time to get the shot, get the footage or the experience. I love this place. Every tourist that I see walking around does so with a beaming smile, because I feel like they've cracked the code. Maybe they were in Phuket recently, or Ao Nang, or Koh Phi Phi, 3 places very close to this island, and they've experienced the crowds and the prices, and then they've found this place, and everyone seems extremely happy they did so. Okay, we are officially in business. So right next to that sandbank little island, there's a couple of restaurants, and I saw some beautiful looking beach huts, and I popped into the shop, spoke to the lady, and we negotiated a price. There was an air conditioning one and a fan. Now the air conditioning was 1,700 baht per night, but I managed to get this one for 1,400 baht for 2 nights. So 700 baht per night. It is only a fan. There's a fan on the wall, and there's a fan over there by the bed. So we're going old school, but I have to compromise because I don't want to stay in a dorm room and I can't afford aircon. So this is the happy ground. And literally, I'm on the beach, out my window. There's the palm trees, there's the ocean, and the Sandbar Island is a 5-minute walk, 3-minute walk. There's a few restaurants nearby. I'm gonna unpack, I'm gonna get a drink, I'm gonna relax, and I'm gonna count my money because we don't have much left. While I've got you here in the cabin, I want to say thank you to the sponsor Squarespace. If you guys need a website, maybe to help elevate your presence online or to create a professional looking website for your business, Squarespace have never made it more easy to create a professional looking website online. The best thing about Squarespace is you'll be making the website easily by yourself. You won't have to hire an expensive web designer or someone to create the website for you. Instead, what you do is you head over to Squarespace, you build it yourself using Squarespace's platform. You choose one of their professional looking portfolio designs. Like I did on my website, I found one that looked quite minimal and travel style, so I chose that one, and then I just added my own text. I replaced the pictures with my own, added some videos, and they also now have a platform where you can sell online courses, which is just really, really powerful tool. If you are an expert in your niche, then you can create a course, sell it on the website, and because of Squarespace's platform, it will look incredible and it won't cost you an arm and a leg to design. And finally, to sweeten the deal, Squarespace are giving you 10% off your first website or domain. If you use this link, squarespace.com/Paddy Doyle, you'll get that extra discount, and enjoy. Okay, I got settled into my little wooden cabin and cooled off by the fan. Put some sun cream on, and I'm out here to explore the sandbank. It's not a sandbank, what would you call this? It definitely has a technical name. If you're worried about jellyfish, you should be, because I can see 1, 2, 3, 4 already. So we will have to keep an eye out for some stingers. Hopefully we'll be okay. Thankfully the water is so beautiful. If there was any Portuguese man of war or any jellyfish, we should get a good glimpse of them first. They don't charge you to come here. You know, there is a little restaurant and you can get yourself some fried rice and have a beer, and there's a few people enjoying the shade. But there's no entrance fee or anything. This is just totally free of charge. So that's a free activity on the island, to come visit this. Also, motorcycling around the island on a little scooter. That's an activity in itself. I mean, it was just beautiful, especially coming over those mountains. And the road has been glorious with the coastline just following you all the way around the island. And later in the video, probably tomorrow, we'll go see the north of the island. We'll go on the west coast. But right now we are facing east. This is the Krabi Islands in the distance. Anyway, I'll be quiet. I'll share the experience of this paradise with you. Beautiful, isn't it? Hi. So, since this beautiful sandbar is completely free and all I had to do was buy that little mango smoothie, I decided to just keep exploring the island on my motorbike, as that was also paid for already since I got the rental and it was full of fuel. KOH YAO NOI is often referred to as the last unspoiled island, and it's so laid back, I can see why. This is predominantly a Muslim island, so keep that in mind, especially when it comes to the way that you act on the island and dress as well, especially if you're visiting any of the many mosques in the island. The locals here really enjoy a much more traditional way of life, centered around fishing and farming, and all of this just adds even more to the authentic charm of the island. I was so glad to be finally here, and obviously with its blend of natural beauty, rich culture and very warm hospitality, I can see why this place is truly a hidden gem. And on my exploration on the bike around sunset time, I found a bar that was creatively called Sunset Bar. So decided to pop in and have a cold beer. This place got busy. That place is a vibe. I met loads of interesting people, including a German couple who have a yacht and are currently spending 2 years sailing around Thailand. So happy days for them. And I just wanted to bring you down to the beach because the bar is actually raised. But I wanted to come down to the beach and show off the last few rays of sun. The sun is just about to go behind those mountains in the distance, which I believe is Phuket. We've still got the jellyfish here. Hello. So I've had 3 beers at 100 baht a pop. So there's another $8 or something, near enough, down the drain. After the sun set and after this beer, I'm gonna head back to my little cabin. And then in the evening, it's the FA Cup quarter-final, Manchester United versus Liverpool. So I will go to a sports bar and I'll have a couple more beers because that's an activity. So I won't have much money left, plus I need to have dinner. So I'll show you what I had for dinner, and then we'll wake up tomorrow and we'll see how much money we have left. Luckily we have our accommodation, we have our transport all sorted. We just need to worry about food if we're going to be able to make this budget last, as the sun is literally saying goodbye across the beautiful little spot. Highly recommend it. And so far, KOH YAO NOI is beautiful. Cheers. And what a beautiful morning it is. One of the highlights of staying on this side, here by the sandbank that we were at earlier in the video yesterday, is we're facing east, so we get to see the sunrise over the mountains of Krabi. So this is going to be a spectacular sunrise. There's a beautiful breeze in the face. There are birds, longhorns, hornbills flying above. See that? That's a hornbill. You're never going to be able to see on this lens, but here's some stock footage of a hornbill so you know what they look like, and they're in the trees feeding on the berries. It's just beautiful. Last night I spent quite a bit of money on beers, to be honest. I went to the sports bar to watch the match and met a bunch of people, including a really nice guy. He's a subscriber, and we got chatting and he ended up buying me quite a few beers, so it would have cost me a lot more, but with dinner and food and a few beers I spent 500 Thai baht, which is leaving me with 180 baht, I believe. So that's got to last us the whole of today, but we'll do it easily. Trust me, there are ways to live very budgetly. It's a bit early in the morning. There are ways to live with a few dollars to your name in Thailand, especially here on this island. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that. This is quite common in Thailand. You know, the big popular islands, Phuket, Koh Phi Phi, Koh Tao, Koh Phangan, Koh Samui, they're the big 5. Koh Chang as well, but that's on the other side. There are the big 5 or the big 6, but there are so many islands just like this where it's like going back to Thailand, you know what I mean? Like the real, authentic, cheap, local, beautiful, bit rustic paradise. Okay, so just been having a lazy morning in the cabin. There's a nice breeze coming through. Did a little bit of work, had a little bit more sleep, and skipped breakfast. I normally don't actually eat breakfast these days. Normally sometimes just have a coffee, sometimes a banana. But since money's tight, I just thought, let's skip breakfast. I wasn't hungry anyway. But it's now coming up to lunchtime, and I've got to realistically, I've got to make this last lunch, dinner, and at least one beer, if that's going to be possible, because this budget video has to be realistic. On a tropical beach in southern Thailand at sunset, one must have a beer, mustn't one? Not really any activities planned today. Of course, I could go snorkeling, I could go on a boat trip, I could go to neighbouring islands to visit them, but with the budget being so zapped, we're not really able to do that, which is fine, because I feel like not doing much apart from exploring a beautiful island on a scooter is actually what I would do normally, so that's fine. Don't normally come to a place like this to do a million things. So yeah, let's potter into town and see if we can get some cheap grub and a cheeky little beer from 7. And yeah, that's exactly what I did. I went back into town and I got another cheap, delicious pad thai and an iced coffee and a can of beer to go, and that only left me with 40 baht for dinner. But I did find some street food that was actually only 35 baht, so we're coming under budget here. And I took it back to my room and popped the food and the beer in the fridge for later. And before I knew it, it was time for dinner and a sunset beer to wrap up my time on the island and to sum up this experience of traveling southern Thailand on your typical backpacker's budget. I have my beer. By the way, 7-Eleven, the only 7-Eleven on the island, doesn't sell alcohol. So I did dip into a nearby shop. Spent my last bit of money on that. And of course the street food. What is this? For the rest of today I didn't really film much because I just relaxed, guys. I just hung out. I took a drive, I explored some more, and this island brings out a very relaxing element. There's no knife and fork for this street food, so I'm gonna have to eat it with my hands. Is this the most romantic dinner I've ever had? No. But it's all I could afford after spending $100 over the 2 days. I think I've learnt that you need a little bit more. You need a little bit more. Of course, I overspent on things like accommodation. I could have stayed in a dorm room. I overspent on too many beers. But that's just kind of what I like to do when I'm on a Thai island. And I could have definitely been a bit more efficient with the money, but I was as creative as I was willing to be, and I think I did a good job. I was thinking about going back to the Sunset Bar, but it's very expensive in comparison to this. And also, I know the sun is going to set on the other side of the island, but yesterday when I was driving to Sunset Bar, the limestone cliffs of the Krabi Bay were just illuminating in the golden colour. The limestone cliffs in the distance there just really ignited in a bronze reddish tan, and I was like, wow, that looks beautiful. So I think I'm just going to enjoy it here on the end of this pier in peace. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.